Hi, and welcome to week 2 of Stormwatch, a show written and produced by students at MATC. I'm your host, Treba Mitchell. Thank you for tuning in. This week, we have a mixture of fun and interesting packages for you. Some that will make you laugh, some that will inform you, and some that will even make you tear up a bit. As we know, tomorrow is one of the most anticipated drinking days of the year, St. Patty's Day. We're going to start off with a package by Maisha Armstrong as she takes a trip to the most lively parts of the city to see how bars prep for the holiday. Let's take a look.
Milwaukee's downtown area is where most of the St. Patrick's Day activities take place. There are always bars that celebrate this day. However, the Irish pubs always host a full day of fun events.
So for St. Patrick's Day this year at Moe's Irish Pub downtown, we start the day off bright and early at 6 a.m. We have Father Tim come in to give a blessing, basically make sure the day gets kicked off right. Then we go right into breakfast. Starting at 7:30, we get the live music and everything going. Throughout the day, we're going to have Irish dancers come and basically do a little jig for everybody. And then we basically have our live stuff go all the way through 1:30 in the morning. Then we wrap things up at bar close.
Just blocks from MATC, Water Street is a popular area full of bars and always full of people on St. Patrick's Day. There are a lot of things you can do to celebrate.
Drinking, eating Reuben, some Irish food, just hanging out, just enjoying St. Patty's Day.
Not too far away is Brady Street, also an area with many bars. Other than partying, there's other ways to be social on St. Patrick's Day.
I'm making money. I'm a server, so it's basically just doing what they need me to do, get them drinks. It's more like a cocktail serving that day. More people are drinking than eating, so you don't have to be accommodating to like, oh, how's your food, how's this? You can sit and have a good time, talk to them, get them drinks, have a party with them basically.
Some people prefer to be around a certain crowd on St. Patrick's Day.
It's just where, I guess, the younger people probably come to celebrate and to drink in Milwaukee. That's probably why, just to be with the younger crowd.
Brady Street is more for the adult crowd instead of the younger crowd. It's more mature people. For me, people can hold their liquor a little bit better and more respectful, where Water Street, it's more just, it's loose, it's fun. It's not a bad place, but it's age grouped.
No matter where you choose to go tomorrow, please remember to drink responsibly and do not drink and drive.
So, where will you guys be going this year? Wherever it is, just remember to be safe, like Maisha mentioned. Speaking of which, this year, Milwaukee Public Transit, in association with Miller Coors, will be having Get Home Safe on St. Patrick's Day with Miller Lite free rides. You can visit the Milwaukee Transit website to get more information. How many of us remember packing for college? How hard it was deciding what to take and what not? When we pack to leave home for the first time for school, we want to take a little piece of home with us. But we have to resist overpacking, right? So, what do we leave behind? Here's a look at a creative package by Shiloh DeBush.
Hey Randy, what are you up to?
Nothing, just walking around, deciding what to do with the extra room I'm gonna inherit after you leave.
Whatever, just be ready to give it back when I come back to visit.
Yeah, so, college. You excited?
Oh yeah, it's a whole new chapter in life. I can be a completely new version of myself, and I can finally leave high school behind completely.
Are you taking everything with you?
Well, I'm only gonna have so much room for my stuff. My roommate's gonna need space for his. So I'm just taking the essentials.
Yeah. Essentials.
Well, I'm gonna need something for when things get boring.
Well, are you taking your bear?
No, it's old, and it's a kid's toy. I'm trying to start fresh with a more adult attitude.
Well, I mean, you had this thing for your whole life. Didn't really want to part ways with it.
Well, the time comes when you have to grow up, and I can't carry this thing around with me for the rest of my life.
Hey, remember when I used to have that rabbit, and we used to take Bear and the rabbit to the theme park?
Yeah, the swing set. I remember. We were lame.
I really think it was that weird. We were just a couple of kids with nothing to do.
Yeah, well, I'm not a kid anymore. Hey, have you seen my hat? The Brewers one?
Didn't you leave it in the closet?
Oh, here it is.
I don't think you should throw this away, man.
No way, this hat is brand new.
Not the hat, you idiot. The bear.
I'm not throwing it away. I'm donating it.
Don't you want to give it to your kids or something?
I mean, what difference if it goes to my kid or someone else's? The thing is beat to hell. The arm's falling off. It's pretty much done. Not to mention the hell I would catch from my roommate. I doubt we would get along if his first impression of me is some guy who still has a stuffed bear. Hey, which movies do you think I should take? I don't really have much space. I know I'm bringing the Coens, Tarantinos, maybe a couple of Kubricks. What do you think?
Huh? Oh, yeah, those are solid picks.
Alright, look, if you like the bear so much, why don't you keep him? You can't seem to be able to put him down.
It's not that I want him, it's that you don't. It's kind of weird. I mean, you had this thing since you were in the crib. I mean, you took this thing to your first day of high school.
He means a lot to me, but I can't keep living in the past. College is different. You're supposed to grow up and become a man there. And I can't do that with a stuffed bear looking at me the whole time.
Just because you carry something from your past doesn't mean you can't move on. Well, anyway, Mom's ready to go when you are. Finish packing your stuff, and we can go.
About you, but I would have taken my teddy bear. I'm glad I got that out the way with. What a difficult day that was for me. Well, let's see how the Girl Scouts career day went. Hopefully they will be selling or talking about selling Girl Scout cookies.
Here at the MATC South Campus, the campus held a career day for the Girl Scouts just last week Saturday. The Scouts were shown around campus and taken to different areas where they got hands-on demonstrations on some of the programs MATC has to offer.
The girls were exposed to architecture, carpentry, mechanical engineering, landscape horticulture, police science and fire science.
I caught up with Sue Molina, Girl Scout Senior Director, and asked why MATC was chosen for this event.
Yes, we've been working with them for a long time. It's important to them as well to have more women represented in the fields that they focus on here at the campus. Girl Scouts is all about leadership development. We've been around for more than 100 years and it's always what we've been about. Part of leadership development, especially for girls at this age, is career exploration. The reason why we like to do this event is really to expose girls to careers that are non-traditionally held by women.
The Scouts were allowed to get creative and even got some keepsakes to remember their time at MATC, if they choose not to eat it, that is.
Well, my favorite part was probably welding all of this together. It was actually really fun. Sparks were everywhere.
I had a lot of fun with the architecture because we got to build like a house.
As in the spirit of Career Day, I asked some of the scouts what they wanted to be when they grew up.
I want to be a vet when I grow up.
Probably like to be a baker when I grow up.
I want to be a toy designer, become a celebrity in like acting or singing, or to be a YouTuber.
I was their age, I probably wanted to be a veterinarian.
And just for the viewers, I asked the most hard-hitting question of all. Where can one find more Girl Scout cookies?
If you go to our website, which is gswise.org, and go to the cookies tab, you can type in your zip code and it can tell you exactly where to go for cookies in your community.
Here at the Oak Creek campus, I'm Randon Wayhausen for Stormwatch.
How nice. What driven young ladies they are. I wish them all the luck on their future endeavors. Speaking of drive, ever been driving and see a certain individual and wonder what's going on in their head? Well, here's a situation such as that in this week's music package by Joe McSorley.
Wait. Walk sign is on. 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 Walk sign is on.
Hey man, there, the walk sign's on.
Walk sign is on. Walk sign is on. Walk sign is on.
Hey, come on, buddy, go.
Walk sign is on. Walk sign is on.
Hey, the walk sign is on.
Walk sign is on. Walk sign is on.
That was such a catchy tune. I'm gonna sing that every time I drive by a pedestrian. A lot of people think of MATC as a college and just that. But there is an adult education division for people to get their GED and HED. David Castor sits with Kevin Krause as he talks about his experience in the program.
I'm Kevin Krause. I'm 21 years old, and right now I'm in the adult high school program here at MATC, and it is a wonderful place to be at. I've been in Milwaukee pretty much all my life. I haven't really moved out of the city, but like I go here and there, you know. But for the most part, I chose MATC because it's just a well-known name here. And at the time, I figured it would be like an affordable route to go towards getting my high school diploma again after finding out that they do have this program. I started this program just this previous year in 2014, and I've already completed 2 of the 8 credits that I need to do. The first one I completed was a psychology class, which was really fun actually. Learned a lot about myself. And right now I'm in a class called Success Strategies with Mr. Burton. And that class is pretty much about learning about yourself, how you operate, how to present yourself in front of potential employers, and portray yourself in front of the public eye, how to be a successful person in general. I don't know, like I'm a person that really enjoys music. I listen to it 24/7. You'll always see me with like headphones draping around my neck or on my head and just bouncing around the hallways. Because my favorite types of music to listen to are either like dubstep, techno, throw in a little country here and there. Well, I got my tattoo because of all my years in choir. As you can see, it's all like one fluid line put together with the treble clef and the bass clef. The best years of my life were in choir, so it had to be colorful. And on top of it, I love glowpoi, EDM music, techno, dubstep, so it just fits. I would definitely recommend the program to anybody who thinks that going back to school, even if it's just for their high school diploma or trying to get their GED, this would definitely be the better route to go. Looks a lot better on a college application. You took that extra mile instead of just taking the few tests that you need. And for anybody that actually does accept the challenge, good on them.
Well, thanks for that package, David. That's definitely something that I didn't know that MATC offered. Well, Lisa Casper has a package on the animation department, a program that has been around for nearly 10 years. Let's take a look.
Images to ones made on a computer, and MATC's animation department is working hard to train the next generation of animators.
At any given time, we have probably around 80 students in the program. And depending on the semester, we'll have a little bit more, a little bit less. And every year, we tend to graduate about 18 to 20 students coming out of the program. It's an associate degree program. It's actually been here at MATC for close to 10 years now.
Yeah, almost.
The department is always adding new programs to keep up with the ever-evolving medium.
The animation program is going to end up with 2 tracks, a 3D animation track and a 2D animation track. We definitely are encouraging our students to cross over between both of those tracks.
Instructors encourage their students to take classes in other departments as well.
Yeah, graphic design, Vicom, and CSG, all really good additional classes.
One of the great benefits of MATC's animation department is the students' ability to collaborate with other departments, something the instructors push their students to explore.
We are one of the only schools in the United States that has a television studio, a television production studio, a game design program, an animation program that is 2D and 3D focused, that we could do anything in the world. And I think people need to realize that and step up to the plate.
Students who graduate from the animation department have skills in drawing, traditional animation, 3D modeling, and much more, and can find work in a variety of industries. So if you're interested in the animation department, there are no prerequisite classes required, but a passion for art is a must.
The only thing that is helpful for someone coming into the program is a strong love for art. So if you like to draw, that helps a ton. You don't need to be expert at anything. We'll teach you all of that.
Dan Fisher has a how-to package on a classic Irish dish. Let's see how easy it is.
Colcannon is a classic Irish dish and a must-have for any St. Patrick's Day celebration. And the great thing about it is that it is so easy to make. Traditionally, it only has 2 ingredients, potatoes, of course, and your choice of either kale or cabbage. Let's get started. You're going to want to put about 2 pounds of peeled, cubed potatoes into a saucepan. Submerge the potatoes with water and then bring to a boil. Bring the heat down to medium and then let them sit for about 15 minutes or until tender. And while that's happening, let's prep our veggie. I'm using kale, but feel free to experiment here. You can use cabbage, Swiss chard, spinach, pretty much any leafy green vegetable that you want. But whatever you use, you're going to want to have about a pound of it, and you're going to have it chopped. Keep in mind that if you are using kale, you're going to want to remove the stems. You want just the leaves here. And once that's chopped, we transfer it to a pot of boiling salted water for blanching. We're going to let that boil for about 5 minutes to make sure that the kale gets nice and tender. Again, if you'd like to have a little bit more flavor, feel free to add some veggies here. I sometimes throw in some green onion, maybe a little bit of parsley, maybe some leeks. I'm just showing you the basic recipe here. Now, once the kale has been blanched, we're going to want to turn off the heat and then remove the kale from the water with a slotted spoon. Now from here you have a couple options. You can either put the kale into the potatoes as is, or you can do what I like to do, which is puree it with a little bit of butter. Now the choice of course is entirely up to you, but I find that pureeing it allows it to mix in more evenly with the potatoes. Speaking of which, those still have a few minutes left in them to cook, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So don't have butter that is room temperature. If you take it straight out of the fridge, it will take longer to blend. Oh, good, perfect timing. Potatoes are fully cooked, which means that we're going to want to get these drained and dry out the pan. Nobody likes watered down Colcannon. Once everything is as dry as possible, you're going to want to return the potatoes to the pot and add the kale. If you'd like a creamier consistency, add a little butter and milk to the mix. Season with salt and pepper to taste, and start mashing. And there you have it, Colcannon, a quick, easy, and incredibly versatile dish. You can use this as a side, or if you feel so inclined, incorporate it into your bangers and mash or shepherd's pie recipes. Well, that's all from me today. From MATC Stormwatch, this is Daniel Fisher, wishing you happy cooking and a very happy St. Patty's Day.
That looks great. We're here with Ronnie Frakes, who has a strong Irish background. Welcome, Ronnie.
Thanks for having me.
So, can you tell us a little bit about what do you and your family do for St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day, we usually gather at my grandma's house. She spends most of the day doing cooking for us. It's more of a traditional meal. Corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, carrots. It's slow roasted, so it's real tender. It's a great thing that we do every year.
Okay, and then besides grandma cooking dinner, are there any other traditions that you and your family have?
Well, I mean, we obviously here in Milwaukee celebrate St. Patrick's Day by going out and drinking. This Tuesday will be interesting. I have class Wednesday morning, but still try to make it out. There's a spot I like to go to, County Clare. They make really good food there as well, so I might stop in there for a bit. But it's also a place my family comes down and visits once in a while too. So.
Okay. So also there were a package that we watched earlier just talking about people who like to go to Brady Street or whether they like to go to Water Street. What's your preference?
It depends who I'm with, but I mean, for instance, last weekend we had the Shamrock Shuffle, so we kind of made our way to North and Water. But yeah, it depends. I mean, if you're doing the Irish thing, there's a lot of good bars on Water Street, so.
Okay, so for people that may not know exactly what the Shamrock Shuffle is, can you just elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, it's an event that's held every year. You pick either a North, Water. They give you like T-shirts and a lanyard. And they do specials. A lot of places will start early, so you can get a breakfast, and because it's a long day of drinking. And yeah, just a good time, just celebrating being Irish and this time of year.
All right. So have you ever or are you going to take advantage of any of those free rides? Make sure you have your designated driver?
Yeah, most definitely. I live in the area, so it'll be really convenient, and it's really crowded anyways down here, so that's great that they offer that.
And then is there anything that you do a little different now that you're older than when you were younger for St. Patty's Day?
Well, obviously when I was younger I didn't go out, but yeah, I mean, I try to make sure that I eat well before I go out because it is a long day of drinking, and it's a big drinking holiday in Milwaukee. So I've learned my lessons on that. So being older kind of helps to make sure you're prepared for it.
Okay. Have you ever hit up any of the parades or anything?
Yeah, there's one every year downtown. I usually try to stop at. It was just here the other weekend. Otherwise, when I was younger, before we'd go to my grandmother's house, we'd do the parades. That was always more of a tradition and a fun thing to do with all the kids.
Is there anything like specific that you like to see at the parades when you were younger?
Well, it's just exciting hearing all the different marching bands playing like the Celtic classic type of Irish music. Plus, they threw candy, so of course we loved it. So it's always a good time.
That sounds so wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us today, and I hope that you can come back. So I just want to say thank you guys for stopping by and for tuning in this week. That's all that we have for Stormwatch. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that was